actors aren't just performers, some become singers too. From Gary Busey channeling Buddy Holly live on set, to Emily Blunt nervously stepping into musicals, and Jeff Bridges turning into a country star, these transformations prove Hollywood's greatest roles sometimes require more than acting. They demand a whole new voice. Tom Cruise shocked audiences when he stepped onto the stage, not as an action hero, but as a glam rock frontman in Rock of Ages. To pull off the leather-clad role of Stacey Jax, Cruise trained with Ron Anderson, the same vocal coach who worked with Axl Rose. Before this, his only real singing experience dated back to a school glee club at age 14. With Anderson's guidance, Cruise learned how to project his voice and confidently belt out 80s rock anthems. While the role didn't demand a wide vocal range, his commitment to singing every note himself earned him respect for diving headfirst into the world of rock. Anne Hathaway took her role in Les Misérables to extraordinary heights by singing every note live on set. To prepare for the intense demands of the musical, she trained twice a week with vocal coach Joan Lader, building the stamina needed to deliver raw, emotional performances without the safety net of studio overdubs. Her dedication paid off in the unforgettable scene where Fantine pours out her soul in I Dreamed a Dream. The live vocals captured every trembling breath and heartbreaking detail, earning Hathaway the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. Matthew McConaughey surprised audiences when he lent his voice to the animated hit Sing, not just for dialogue, but for singing too. With no professional background in music, McConaughey admitted his only real training came from singing in the shower or during car rides. But when it came time to perform Carly Rae Jepsen's Call Me Maybe as Buster Moon, he put in the work. McConaughey recorded the song over and over, 20 takes in a row, until the team had the perfect version, unforgettable performance. Emily Blunt might be known for her acting, but when she stepped into the role of the baker's wife in Into the Woods, she faced one of her biggest challenges, singing live on screen. To prepare, Blunt took extensive singing lessons, working hard to master the demands of her first major musical. Despite her natural talent, she admitted that performing in front of others left her knees shaking with nerves. Yet, when the cameras rolled, none of that showed. Her voice carried the story with warmth and strength, marking the start of her journey into musicals that later led to Mary Poppins Returns. Joaquin Phoenix had to transform his voice completely to play Johnny Cash in Walk the Line. To capture the Man in Black's deep, unmistakable tone, Phoenix went through intensive vocal lessons and worked closely with a vocal coach. The training was far from glamorous. He described the exercises as awkward and even humiliating, but it pushed him to unlock the power and depth Cash was known for. By the time filming began, Phoenix was able to sing every song himself, embodying the voice and presence of a country music legend. Meryl Streep faced one of her most unusual challenges in Florence Foster Jenkins, learning to sing beautifully so she could then deliberately sing badly. To prepare, she worked with Arthur Levy, the same vocal coach who trained Broadway star Audra McDonald. Streep practiced arias until she could perform them with precision, only to twist her technique into the famously off-key style of Florence Foster Jenkins. The balance of skill and controlled imperfection was so convincing that it earned Streep her 20th Academy Award nomination. Andrew Garfield took on a brand new challenge when he played Jonathan Larson, the creator of Rent, in Tick, Tick, Boom. To bring Larson's songs to life, Garfield trained closely with renowned vocal coach Liz Kaplan and Lin-Manuel Miranda's musical team. He had never sung professionally before, but through months of dedication, he learned to open his voice and confidently belt out Larson's iconic music. The transformation was so powerful that Garfield won a Golden Globe and earned an Oscar nomination for the role. Reese Witherspoon didn't just act as June Carter in Walk the Line, she became her voice. To prepare, Witherspoon worked closely with famed vocal coach Roger Love and spent 6 months training under legendary music producer T-Bone Burnett. Alongside Joaquin Phoenix, she rehearsed tirelessly until they could perform every song themselves, capturing the sound and spirit of June and Johnny Cash. Witherspoon's commitment paid off when she sang live on screen with the same warmth and charm that made June unforgettable. That dedication to music and performance earned her the Academy Award for Best Actress. Tom Hiddleston completely transformed himself to play country legend Hank Williams in I Saw the Light. To capture Williams' southern twang and musical style, Hiddleston worked tirelessly with singing coach Rodney Cowell, practicing until he could sing and even yodel convincingly. For a British actor, learning to shed his accent and master such a distinct vocal tradition was no small feat. The process was intimidating at times, but his dedication brought an authenticity to the role that surprised audiences who knew him best as Loki. Hiddleston's hard work proved he could step far beyond the Marvel universe and into the shoes of a country icon. Jeff Bridges didn't just play a country singer in Crazy Heart, he became one. To bring the weary voice of Bad Blake to life, Bridges worked with renowned vocal coach Roger Love, who guided him through unique vocal exercises, sometimes even over the phone. Bridges already had a love for singing, but shaping his sound into Blake's raspy, lived-in tone took real dedication. The result was so authentic that audiences felt like they were watching a genuine country musician, not an actor. That commitment earned Bridges the Academy Award for his unforgettable performance. Helena Bonham Carter had to fight harder than anyone imagined to land her role in Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street. Even though the film was directed by her partner Tim Burton, she spent months proving she was right for the part of Mrs. Lovett. While Burton auditioned other actresses, Bonham Carter took singing lessons to sharpen her voice and show she could handle the demanding musical role. After a grueling process, Burton finally agreed she could sing it, but on set, he pushed her even further, insisting she nail her songs in a single take. Renee Zellweger took on one of the most challenging roles of her career when she stepped into the shoes of Judy Garland in Judy. More than just singing, she had to capture Garland's unmistakable vocal style. To achieve this, Zellweger worked with vocal coach Gary Busey, who used specialized techniques to strengthen the muscles around her vocal cords. He called it voice building, helping her unlock the range and resonance needed to channel Garland's sound. The result was a performance so authentic that it earned Zellweger the Academy Award for Best Actress. Gary Busey stunned audiences when he transformed into rock legend Buddy Holly for the Buddy Holly story. Instead of lip-syncing to pre-recorded tracks, Busey actually learned to sing in Holly's signature style and played guitar live on camera. His performance was so convincing that many viewers assumed they were hearing the real Buddy Holly. To complete the transformation, he even dropped 32 pounds to match Holly's lean frame. It wasn't just acting, it was full-on musical dedication that earned Busey the only Academy Award nomination of his career.